What is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing this morning? So, today we're going to talk a little bit about EDC, everyday carry. I'll tell you why. So, as you may or may not know, if you have not watched this channel at all, this is a guitar channel, but, you know, we all have to carry stuff every day. And I'm also kind of an EDC junkie, and I'm a bit of a knife junkie, as well as all that kind of stuff, multi-tools and various things like that. And I got to thinking the other day, what is the most efficient way as a guitar player to have the tools that you need to do all the things that you need to do to play guitar? So we're going to go through mine and how I do this, because I actually have a guitar with me basically all the time. When we leave, we go on the road. This is kind of the stuff that I take with me. Well, actually, I have this with me every day. But then when we go on the road, take the motor home, and we go on a trip, and I have a guitar or two with me, all of this stuff is always with me. I think the goal here should be a couple of things. One, obviously, to not duplicate a bunch of stuff, because you don't want to be carrying a bunch of crap around with you all the time. And two, to make sure that you can basically do most things with your kit, so that you can, you know, do basic setup stuff on your guitar and change strings and all that sort of stuff. And then, of course, play, because you obviously want to play. So, well, let's get into it. Let's get the big one out of the way first. I carry, just recently, I just got this, the Reeves Sebenza 31 with micarta scales, micarta inlays on the scales. I really love this knife. I have a whole bunch of knives. I was carrying a Spyderco PM2 for a while. I've got a Microtech that I carry, all that kind of stuff. I have tons of stuff. This thing has pretty much trumped everything, and I don't know. It's just never come out of my pocket. It's kind of big, but I wear jeans most of the time, and or, you know, some sort of hiking pants or something. So this has been pretty sweet. Anyway, so I love this knife. Love this knife. Well, I mean, as you should, right? It's a pretty cool knife. Okay, I carry a Fisher Space pen. I don't use pens that often because I carry an iPad Pro with me, which we don't have here on the table because I think it's kind of outside of the thing. But I always carry an iPad Pro with me. That's for work stuff. That's for, you know, writing down notes for, I use OneNote and I make a bunch of notes for videos and for work, for pickup production, that sort of stuff. But you always need a pen. So Fisher Space pen, this thing is pretty cool, and it's kind of fidgety, and I like it. Now, this is where, those are the kind of the things that are just in my pockets all the time. They don't really have anything to do with guitar stuff, but they're there, so I wanted to share them. Now let's get into actual things that we have to do with guitar stuff. Let's go in order of irrelevance to relevance, shall we, which is kind of what we're already doing. They're my keys. I hate keys. I hate them. I have this split apart thing so that I can keep the fob in my pocket, because my car's got one of those things where you have to have the fob in the pocket to unlock the door and all that. So this always has to stay in my pocket, and all those keys to bike racks and all that kind of crap, that can just go in my bag. I usually carry either my camera bag, or I have this little, this little Coach bag man purse that I carry. Most of that stuff goes in it. So anyway, that mostly goes in there. So we'll throw that off to the side. That's in that bag. On these keys right here, I have a pick holdery thing, and this one has a custom Dragonfire pick in it, with an emblem engraved on it that they sent me, and then I have one of their other Dragon picks also. That goes in there. Gotta have a pick with you at all times. I keep one in my wallet too, but that is a whole nother story for another day that we'll probably do in another video on the other channel. Because I have a whole story with that wallet. It's guitar related, but we won't get into it now. This is also newly acquired by me. This is a SOG Power Pint. Now, this is going to come up a couple of times in this video because you can clip strings with it, and there's a knife in here, there is a little screwdriver, there is a little tiny screwdriver that in fact works really good for pickguard screws and other, you know, like Fender-y and Gibson-y kind of small screws. It works really well. But the cool part is right here in the end of it, and we're gonna get to that in a minute. This little guy right here is cool because it fits in my 5th pocket on my jeans. It doesn't look like it would, but I wear cowboy jeans, so it fits in my 5th pocket on my jeans. It's perfect. I'll show you in a minute exactly why this thing is the coolest little multi-tool if you're a guitar player. I carry a Korg Mini Pitch Clip 2. These are not the best tuners in the world, but they're better than a Snark by far. The display is pretty nice. They're really small, and they're not expensive. And if you lose one, you could just go get another one. I haven't lost any, but this one I like. Now, this is where it gets kind of interesting, because if I'm going somewhere where I have room to take guitar tools with me, I bring the Grovetown Stagehand. Now, if you've followed this channel for a long time, you've heard me talk about Cruise tools. I believe they got bought out. This is now Grovetown on the bag. It is the same stuff that I know and love. And in fact, I just bought this brand new one for this video and for some other videos that I'm doing so that it would be a complete kit. So everything is in here. So let's dive into what's in this, and then I'm going to show you how it interacts with this other stuff when I want to go even smaller. All right, so I just opened up that little red pouch, and all of this stuff lives in here. We've got a string winder. We've got a bunch of Allen keys that handle basically if you have a Floyd Rose, if it's got all that stuff in it. It's got all the stuff for your truss rod. It's got all the stuff for Gibson truss rods, Phillips, a couple different sizes, flatheads, a couple different sizes, etc. It's all in there. Basically everything you need to work on a guitar. You can tighten up tuners, you can do... I have not found yet in this thing anything that I didn't have. That I needed that I didn't have with these bits. But it's still too much stuff because you don't need 90% of that stuff. So we'll get to that in a minute. The nut driver that comes with it is really good, so that's what this is. I actually have another one of these on my bench because I like it a lot. There's a little work capo in here, so if you want to check your string, your neck relief on your guitar and you want to pin your strings down to do it. Or if you've got a Bigsby and you're changing strings and you want to hold them down while you're messing around, it's nice to have a third hand. It's not a playing capo, it's just a work capo that you can use for kind of that third hand situation. These string cutters are actually really, really nice. They're not like Harbor Freight little snips. They're actually really nice. They're spring loaded. They're really good. I really like them. I have a few pairs of these after accumulating these over the years. I really like them. It's got a set of feeler gauges. You notice that the stack of feeler gauges is not like wicked thick because you don't need tons of feeler gauges for a guitar. This is not, some commercial situation. You just need a few. And so it's kind of compact. And it's got a nice string height gauge here. And on the back of the string height gauge is like a cheat sheet for your basic middle of the road setup. So it's got metric and standard on both sides of that. This whole thing fits in this little red bag. This fits in, like if you have a cutaway on an acoustic guitar and you put this in the case right where the little dip is, it fits in there. It usually fits in the little the little thing that opens up when you lift up the guitar and you open it up and stick it in there underneath the neck. It fits in there too. Super, super compact. Thing is, at the time of making this video, this whole set of stuff is $40. And I know a lot of people will be like, well, I just assembled a bunch of tools from Harbor Freight. And it was cheaper than that, or etc. I get that. I have a bunch of tools on my bench that I've assembled over years too that I like better than this. However, for the one-stop, buy it all at the same time, get the thing, have everything you need, and it fits in this bag, it's pretty cool. Now, this is not sponsored. This is just, they've given me a set or two over the years to like do giveaways and stuff, but if you call them and ask them, they'll tell you we do not sponsor videos. So this is not a sponsored video. I just really like this stuff. I've been using it a long, long time. Probably the whole time I've been doing this, I've been using these tools. They sell a bigger set that has a whole bunch more stuff and like bigger size tools, like longer drivers and really nice stuff. But to me, this is the one that you need because it's got all the Floyd Bros stuff in it. It goes in your case. You can take it anywhere with you. For me, it's a little too much. I don't need half of this stuff. Being a Fender / Gibson / PRS guy, I don't need a whole lot of stuff. And let's face it, when you're going out for 1 gig at a time, let's say you go out tonight to play, you don't have a guitar tech. You have a whole guitar tech worth of tools in your case if you need them, but I like to minimize a little bit more than that. So let me show you what I do, and let's bring the SOG Power Pint back in. So bringing in the SOG Power Pint and talking about Power Pint and talking about why I use it. First of all, it 5th pocket carries for me in a pair of jeans. So you can use it for all kinds of other stuff outside of guitar. But when it comes to guitar, the reason I picked this is a couple things. One, the cutter is really good. And SOG in particular, like Leathermans are cool, and I have them, and they're awesome. I have a Leatherman in the car, and I have a Leatherman in the van. I like them. But the SOGs are gear driven. So there's got these gear fulcrums. And so when you go to cut a guitar string, there's no fighting it. I mean, it's just like, just right through like butter. It's pretty awesome. So they work really good, even though it's so small. I like the gear-driven thing. That's one of the reasons I chose it. And then the other reason I chose it is because the screwdrivers that are in here fit into guitar stuff. For example, that Phillips screwdriver works pretty well. It's a number 2, I think, and it fits pretty well in a pickguard screw, for example. And these are locking, and you can push the little button and fold it back up, and there you go. Now, the beauty of this thing, though, is in the minimizing all these other tools. So, I don't have a Floyd Rose. I play mostly Fender stuff. So, the only thing that I need that is not in this tool is the millimeter, is it a 4mm-ish driver bit, and this one comes a little bit longer for the truss rod adjustment. Now, I don't normally need it, but sometimes you do, especially if I'm on the road in the motorhome for a long time. Check this out. When you fold this back up, there is a magnetic bit driver in the end of the Power Pint. And that, to me, folks, makes this thing awesome. So, all I need on the road, besides my other EDC stuff, is this one bit and this. And that's it. And I can do basically anything on my guitar, on the road, with this kit right here. I don't need anything else. And I have a pick in my pocket, and there you go, I'm off and running. Now, if you're a Gibson guy, and I don't remember which one of these is off the top of my head is which, but there you go. Now you have your Gibson truss rod cover, and if you wanted, you could use one of these to tighten up tuners and stuff. And you have a pretty nice tool to do that with. I think it's pretty sweet. It's pretty minimal. Yeah, I dig this. In a pocket, on the road, no stress. You have everything you need to work on your guitar. Well, so there you go. I think you could do just about anything you want with that setup. You can go anywhere you want. Before we go, I should come over here and show you Leslie's got a bit of an EDC thing. Got a bit of an EDC thing going on here too. She's got over here, this is the first knife that she got, was the little baby Spyderco. So there's this little guy. It's kind of cool. Does little knife things. This is the one she fidgets with on her desk the most. And then, believe it or not, she asked me for a balisong trainer because she saw a video about it. I suck at this, and this is brand new, so it's still all stiff, but it's a balisong trainer. Anyway, so that's hers too. And then a couple of the recent additions, we were kind of on a pen kick, so I got her, because she likes purple's her favorite color, a Fisher Space pen in purple, the little mini dude. I don't remember which model it is, but I'll leave a link to it down below. It's pretty cool. And then this is kind of her favorite thing in her collection so far, because she doesn't have a big collection, but here it is. This is the Microtech UTX 70. So that's kind of her new thing. She asked me, she's like, I want a purple knife. And I was like, okay, well, if you're going to get a purple knife, you're going to get a purple knife. Microtech UTX 70. Pretty cool. I know this video is a little aside from what we normally do, but I was thinking about it all day, or really all week this week. I'm like, what would I take with me if I left now? Because I've rethought all of my personal EDC stuff. I've got a little bag that I carry stuff in, and I've got a camera bag, and I'm about to go travel to Colorado. What am I going to bring with me, etc., because we're going out there for this Texas Toast thing. And then it just got me thinking, and I'm like, you know, how can we get everything in our pockets and still be a guitar tech? So the video made sense to me. Let me know in the comments what you carry in your pockets for guitar stuff or not for guitar stuff. I don't care, because I always want to know, because I'm always really curious about this stuff. And any ideas that you thought I might have missed in this situation as well, because, you know, we're always learning. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next video. Oh yeah, like and subscribe and all the stuff that you normally do as a YouTube viewer. I would appreciate it. Thanks.